Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's Friday, gateway to the weekend. Remember when I said before that if we haven't got a lot to do, I'm going to bundle a couple of stages together? Well, last week I did have issue 17 of the Lancaster bomber. Not a lot to do, so today I've got issue 18 as well. So as you can see, this is where we're up to. We haven't actually put the top on yet, so I'm just going to take that off, otherwise it's going to confuse you. But we are still working on this back area here. So not a lot to do though. It's going to be a lot of clipping in things again. As you can see, I've got it on my Partwork Upgrades stand. If you want to know where to get that from, it's in the video description. So there's also a link on the screen there. And if you do want to get the whole collection of the Lancaster, you can get that from Hachette Partworks, and the link for that is also in the video description. But let's jump straight into it with stage 17 first. Without further ado, let's get cracking. So here you go. Here's the stage 17 magazine, and we're going to do the rear floor section and details. As a matter of fact, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 details and some screws. That's why I didn't do a video last week. So we are going to put these parts together just like this. So by the end of it, we really have extended this out. Looking good though. And this is the rest of the magazine. Excellent. So I've opened everything up, and this is the rear section of the aircraft. So now if I bring this over on the stand, it's pretty easy to see where this is going to go. It's going to fit on just like that onto the rear section of the aircraft. Now it's going to be held in with some of these flange screws I've got here. I'm just going to get my bigger screwdriver. These are DM screws. We need 3 of these into the 3 holes that you can see just here. That's the second one going in here. I'm using my PH1 screwdriver to get that in as tight as I possibly can. And then just one down the end here. When that's in, it shouldn't wobble around. It is kind of tilted up just a section like that. Now this is where we've got to put some of these details in. So in this section just here, I've got this detail to put in, which goes in like that. This is the, it says take the chute. That's the chute. It's going to be held in with an EP screw from the other side. So I have had to take it off the stand just so I can get to the underside of that. Perfect. Then I've got a couple of details here, look like this, to put into these slots here. So I've got the smaller one here is going to go into this slot. Like this, and it sort of overhangs the side. Now when we put this in, we only want to be pressing at the base there. And it just pushes in gently to that gap. Now what I'm doing is just seeing how they fit first. They're going to fit in just like that, and then we're going to glue these in. So I've got my glue here, take it back out. Now I know how it's going to go, and I'm just going to be putting some glue just along that edge there. They don't go all the way down, they sort of sit up. In other words, the edge here is the only thing that's going in. And there you go, they're both in. So what you want to have, even though this is tilted down, the tops of these is actually parallel with this platform here. One more detail to put in, right at the very rear section of the plane. What do you expect to find at a rear section? A toilet. And that's just going to be going on here. Again, it's just going to be a test fit. They are saying glue it into place, but you know what? That is such a tight fit, I'm not going to need to glue that. But that is the toilet in place. That's all there is to do in that stage. So then that moves us swiftly on to stage 18. And here's the magazine. Just 2 parts in this one and some screws. So not a lot to do in this one either. We're going to be attaching this to the very rear section behind the toilet. So this is the very back of the aircraft here. And that's pretty much all we're doing. And this is the rest of the magazine. And I will show you what's coming in stage 19. A few more bits here. Looks like we've got some fiddly bits of the engine we're going to start building. This is where the detail's really going to come in. So I wouldn't be surprised if each one of these stages is going to take a little bit of time. But let's get cracking on stage 18. And it's pretty easy to see how we're going to start here. Now, all of these bits are metal here. And this is the tailplane support. including this section just here. Now what I'm going to do is putting it this way round. This is going to go over the 2 holes there, and it's held in with CM screws. So I'm going to make sure this is in tight. I'm not worried about over tightening it when I go into metal. But there we go, that's in place there. And then quite simply, the only other thing to do in this stage, if I just bring this over here so you can see that back section, is I'm going to be putting this into place. Now this goes on this way round over the 2 lugs just behind the toilet there. So we have got a little back wall bulkhead for the toilet facing it. Now that's going to be held in with DM screws. And again, I'm using a PH1 screwdriver because I want this in as tight as I can possibly get it. Now, these screws are really hard to get in, so even though I put oil on them, it does help to take them out, put some more oil in, just to help to drive these in even further, so that this is going to be tight in here. And just so you know, I had to do that 3 times of taking it out, putting it back in, taking them out, putting them back in, so I can get that without any wobble at all. But that is all there is to do in that stage. And what I'm doing is I've just extended this base out now, so it's better supported, as you can see there. But this stand is absolutely brilliant for doing this build. And that's it. Believe it or not, the total recording time was 14 minutes, and not a lot to do at all. Now, I think I will, when I store it, put the canopy top on, just like that. I'm not going to push it down. I'll just leave it gently on there, just to protect, again, everything that's inside the cockpit there. But that is all there is to do in those 2 stages. Now, next week, I think we will have one out because it does look fiddly when we're doing the engine. But I really hope you like that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.